There are dozens of coffees on Earth. Each one has a history, a reason, and a very specific opinion about itself. Today, we're going through all of them. Coffee 1 is espresso. Everything starts here. Hot water forced at high pressure through very finely ground coffee beans, producing a small, dense shot with a layer of golden foam on top called crema. The word espresso means pressed out in Italian, which tells you everything about the method and nothing about how to actually order one properly in Naples without getting a look. The quality of an espresso depends on grind size, water temperature, pressure, and the barista's skill, which means that two espressos made from the same beans in the same country can taste completely different. Italians drink espresso standing at the bar in under 2 minutes for about €1. Coffee 2 is a latte. A latte is espresso with a lot of steamed milk and a thin layer of foam. The name is Italian, caffè latte, which literally just means coffee with milk. The ratio is roughly 1 part espresso to 3 or 4 parts milk, making it one of the mildest espresso drinks on this list. Latte art, the leaves and hearts your barista draws in the foam, came out of the specialty coffee movement in Seattle in the 1980s and went global from there. Here is the one thing most people who order lattes daily don't know. The flavored version, vanilla, caramel, hazelnut, is not a latte with flavor. It's sugar with a small amount of coffee in it. That is not a judgment. That is a nutritional fact. Coffee 3 is cappuccino. A cappuccino is equal parts espresso, steamed milk, and milk foam, served in a small cup. The name comes from the Capuchin friars, a Catholic religious order, because the foam on top resembles the hoods they wore and the color matches their brown robes. This is a real origin story. A coffee was named after monks. This information lives in your brain now. In Italy, a traditional cappuccino is a morning drink only. The high milk content is believed to interfere with digestion later in the day. If you order one after 11 in the morning in Rome, the barista will serve it to you, but their eyes will say things their mouth will not. This is one of the more reasonable food opinions a culture has ever held. Coffee 4 is Americano. An Americano is espresso diluted with hot water. That's it. The drink was invented by American soldiers stationed in Italy during World War II who found Italian espresso too strong. Instead of developing a tolerance, which would have been the Italian recommendation, they started adding hot water until it resembled the drip coffee they knew from home. The Italians named it after them. Not as a compliment. An Americano is not the same as drip coffee. The espresso base gives it a different character. It is stronger, slightly richer, and has the residual crema from the espresso shot mixed in. Coffee 5 is a flat white. A flat white is espresso with steamed milk, similar to a latte but smaller, stronger, and with almost no foam on top. It originated in either Australia or New Zealand in the 1980s, and both countries claim it with the intensity of a territorial dispute. The key difference from a latte is the milk ratio. Same amount of espresso, significantly less milk. The coffee flavor is stronger, the milk is silky, and the foam is almost absent, which is where the flat comes from. Starbucks added it to their menu in 2015 and introduced it to an enormous audience that had never seen it before, which means a drink that specialty coffee shops in Melbourne had spent decades perfecting was simultaneously globalized and slightly diluted in the same move. Coffee 6 is Gibraltar or cortado. A Gibraltar, also called a cortado in most of the world, is 1 part espresso to 1 part steamed milk, just enough milk to cut the acidity without drowning the coffee. Served in a small glass, consumed quickly. The Gibraltar name comes from the specific Libby glass it's served in, popularized at Blue Bottle Coffee in San Francisco in the early 2000s. It sits right between an espresso and a latte in terms of strength, making it the drink for people who actually want to taste the coffee they ordered. Coffee 7 is Mocha. A mocha is a latte with chocolate added, usually by mixing syrup or cocoa powder into the espresso before the milk. It tastes like a cross between coffee and hot chocolate. The name comes from the port city of Mocha in Yemen, which was a major hub for coffee trade centuries ago. Yemeni coffee from that region naturally had chocolatey flavor notes, and the name stuck long after the connection was lost. Here is the historical footnote that most mocha drinkers don't know. The Dutch later smuggled coffee plants from Yemen to Java, Indonesia, leading to the creation of the world's first commercial blend, which is Mocha Java. A blend that balanced bright acidic Yemeni notes with bold, earthy Indonesian tones. Coffee 8 is a cold brew. Cold brew is coffee brewed slowly in cold water for 12 to 24 hours. No heat involved at any point. The slow extraction avoids the compounds responsible for bitterness and acidity in hot coffee, producing a drink that is naturally smoother and slightly sweeter without adding anything to it. It became commercially popular in the United States around 2015 and went global from there. It also stays fresh in the fridge for up to 2 weeks, which no hot coffee can claim. Coffee 9 is a Nitro cold brew. Nitro cold brew is regular cold brew infused with nitrogen gas and served on tap like a beer. Nitrogen bubbles are much smaller than CO2 bubbles, and this is the same reason Guinness has that distinctive creamy pour. The result is a thick, creamy textured coffee with a foamy head and zero dairy. Starbucks launched it in 2016. It took off immediately. The part that surprises people, because of how nitrogen interacts with the liquid, Nitro cold brew actually tastes sweeter than regular cold brew, even though nothing is added. No sugar, no sweetener, no flavoring. Coffee 10 is Bulletproof Coffee. Bulletproof Coffee is brewed coffee blended with grass-fed butter and MCT oil, which is a fat derived from coconut oil. It was popularized by entrepreneur Dave Asprey around 2011 after he tried yak butter tea in Tibet and came home wanting to recreate the experience with better branding. The keto and low-carb communities adopted it immediately. Drinkers say the fats provide sustained energy without a blood sugar spike. Nutritionists point out that replacing a meal with butter and oil removes significant amounts of protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals from your day, and that the sustained energy people feel is largely just caloric density from fat. Both of these things can be true simultaneously. It became a major commercial product. Bulletproof coffee drinkers, make your case below. Everyone else, respectful disagreement only. Share this with the person who explains their coffee order like a legal document. Save it for the next time you're in a cafe in a country you don't know and you want to order something real. Subscribe. New video every week. The coffee is getting cold and this is a good place to stop.